I saw it posted yesterday all over our social media pages. Cassie filed a lawsuit in New York City against Diddy.
Yikes.
She's claiming she was stuck in a decade-long cycle of abuse.
Rumors are that Diddy was running some kind of Epstein type deal where he was filming everybody, right?
That's the rumors, yeah. I don't know that there's any proof or anything other than that.
Imagine this, some of the biggest names in Hollywood, the ones who've crafted flawless public personas over decades, are now caught up in a web of rumors that could completely unravel their carefully constructed images. At the center of this swirling storm is none other than Sean Diddy Combs, a man whose influence in the entertainment industry has spanned decades. But now the whispers are growing louder. Did Diddy secretly amass tapes that could expose some of the world's most famous celebrities in the most compromising situations imaginable? This isn't just some idle gossip. According to insiders like Joe Rogan and comedian Katt Williams, these tapes, if they exist, could shake Hollywood to its core. Let's dive into what they've shared and why these revelations have the entire industry on edge.
The story we're tracking, music mogul Sean Diddy Combs on watch at Brooklyn's Metropolitan Detention Center after two judges denied his request for bail. This as a grand jury is expected to hear new testimony from workers very soon.
It all starts with Diddy's infamous parties. We're not talking about your average celebrity get-togethers with fancy whores, D-overs, and champagne toasts. These were events that, according to various sources, went far beyond what most people would consider normal, even by Hollywood's extravagant standards. These parties, nicknamed freak-offs by those in the know, were attended by A-listers, rising stars, and industry moguls alike. And if the rumors are to be believed, it wasn't just the atmosphere that was wild. There were cameras rolling, capturing everything.
I think it's over.
You think it's over?
I think it's over for him as like a figure in entertainment.
Right. But do you
Like,
think it's over as him as far
going
as
to jail?
like he gets a cell right next to R. Kelly?
I don't think so.
Now, here's where things get even more interesting. According to Joe Rogan, who's known for his candid conversations on his wildly popular podcast, The Joe Rogan Experience, Diddy's parties weren't just about having fun. During one of his episodes, Rogan hinted that these events might have been orchestrated to collect dirt on some of the biggest names in Hollywood. Prince Harry was hanging with Diddy, he remarked during an episode featuring comedian Andrew Schulz. While the focus of that conversation was on conspiracy theories, Rogan's comment raised eyebrows, especially considering the recent allegations against Diddy. It suggested that maybe, just maybe, there was more going on behind the scenes than anyone realized.
That's what people were saying, and maybe everybody's a conspiracy theorist now, but that's what people were saying about the Diddy situation. Like when the feds rolled up, with the Hummers and shit, they were like, it wasn't about Diddy, it was about if there were tapes of powerful people there.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure.
They were the ones that called. They're like, I need to protect myself, so go in there with all the things and rip any tapes or any evidence.
Rogan's not the only one who's hinted at something darker lurking beneath the surface. Katt Williams, a comedian known for his no-holds-barred approach to discussing Hollywood secrets, has been vocal about his experiences with Diddy. During an interview, Williams revealed that he had been invited to one of Diddy's exclusive gatherings but turned it down, feeling that something was off. He didn't mince words, saying, P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you've got to tell him no, I die-guyed, I got the receipts. Williams' statements were met with shock, but they also added fuel to the fire of speculation. What's particularly intriguing about Williams' story is the implication that these events weren't just about partying, they were about control. Williams suggested that Diddy used these parties to gain leverage over the attendees, many of whom were up-and-coming stars or established celebrities looking to maintain their status in the industry. Think about it. If you're a young artist trying to break into the business, and you find yourself at one of Diddy's parties, surrounded by powerful people, you'd be tempted to play along, right? But what if you didn't know that everything was being recorded? What if years later, those tapes could come back to haunt you?
Speak with impunity about the Illuminati because I know who you would have to be in order for what I'm saying to bother you, number one.
Right.
Number two, I know your big secret. I know that you're not the Illuminati, I am. So
There's a reason why these rumors are so explosive. If Diddy really did collect footage of celebrities engaging in behaviors they'd rather keep private, it would give him an enormous amount of power. Hollywood is a place where image is everything, and the thought of some of its biggest stars being blackmailed with footage from these wild gatherings is enough to send shivers down anyone's spine. And according to some sources, that's exactly what's happening. Let's talk about some of the names that have been whispered in connection with these tapes. While no one has been officially named in any lawsuits related to the tapes, rumors have swirled around several high-profile figures, including music icons like Nicki Minaj, Rihanna, and Drake. These are celebrities who have built their brands on a combination of talent, charisma, and public image. But what if that image was suddenly shattered by the release of footage showing them in compromising situations? It's the kind of scandal that could destroy careers, and it's no wonder that some people believe these stars might be willing to pay enormous sums of money to keep the footage from ever seeing the light of day.
The issue is, it seems as though he wants to kind of like exert power and dominance over people who don't really want it.
One of the most disturbing aspects of this entire situation is the idea that some of these celebrities may have been unaware that they were being filmed. According to Katt Williams, Diddy's parties often involved hidden cameras, capturing everything without the guests' knowledge. Williams has described feeling uncomfortable with the entire setup, which is why he distanced himself from Diddy's circle. He wasn't the only one who got out. While he still could, other celebrities have reportedly done the same, realizing that the price of admission to Diddy's inner circle might be higher than they were willing to pay. And yet, the allure of being part of Diddy's world was hard to resist for many. After all, Diddy was one of the most powerful figures in the music industry, and his connections could make or break a career. For up-and-coming stars, attending one of his parties was a way to network with influential people, to be seen and to rub shoulders with the industry's elite. But at what cost? If the rumors are true, Diddy's parties were a trap and opportunity for him to collect damning evidence that could be used to control those around him.
Took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs.
It's worth noting that not everyone who attended Diddy's parties is implicated in these rumors. Some celebrities, like Usher and Justin Bieber, have been associated with Diddy for years, but there's no concrete evidence linking them to any wrongdoing. Still, their names have come up in discussions about Diddy's influence, and the silence from many of Hollywood's biggest stars has only fueled speculation. Why haven't more people spoken out about these allegations? Could it be that they're afraid of what might happen if they do? The idea that Diddy might be blackmailing some of the most famous people in the world is a chilling one. But according to Joe Rogan, it's not as far-fetched as it sounds. During his podcast, Rogan discussed the possibility that Diddy's parties were part of a larger conspiracy, one in which powerful people used their influence to protect themselves from scandal. Rogan and Schulz even drew parallels between the rumors surrounding Diddy and the notorious Jeffrey Epstein case, where tapes were allegedly used as leverage against some of the world's most powerful figures. That's what people were saying, Schulz commented during their conversation. Like, when the feds rolled up with the Hummers and they were like, it wasn't about Diddy. It was about if there were tapes of powerful people there.
Harry was hanging with Diddy.
I mean, everybody hung with Diddy. That's the other tricky thing. Like, Diddy hung out with everybody. And I've spoken to a bunch of people who are like, yo, great dude, like, always there for you, never asked for a single thing.
Till 1 a.m.
And then freak off.
Everybody says, get out of the house.
Yeah.
It's like the gremlins start eating after midnight.
If that's true, then the stakes are even higher than anyone realized. This isn't just about Diddy protecting his own reputation. This could be about a much larger network of powerful individuals who are desperate to keep their secrets hidden. And if those tapes were ever released, the fallout could be catastrophic. Of course, all of this is still speculation. There's no definitive proof that Diddy has been using these tapes to blackmail anyone. And many of the celebrities mentioned in connection with these rumors have remained tight-lipped about the situation. But the fact that these rumors persist, and that people like Joe Rogan and Katt Williams are willing to speak openly about their suspicions, suggests that there may be more to this story than meets the eye.
Someone said that they weren't there to take stuff, they were there to delete everything. Like the real people that were in there, you know.
Oh,
like
that's
the same
funny.
thing with Epstein.
Oh, that's funny.
What's particularly striking about these allegations is the way they tie into a larger pattern of behavior in Hollywood. Over the years, there have been countless stories of powerful people using their influence to manipulate and control others. Whether it's through intimidation, coercion, or blackmail, the entertainment industry has long been a place where the rich and powerful can get away with almost anything so long as no one is willing to speak out against them. But if the rumors about Diddy are true, then this could be one of the biggest scandals to ever hit Hollywood. The idea that one man could hold so much power over some of the most famous people in the world is both terrifying and fascinating. It raises questions about how far people are willing to go to protect their secrets, and whether the truth will ever come to light.
You know, I think in federal court and for these charges, they would say it's routine, but in the public realm, this is very significant, just from who we associate Diddy being and everything we've seen him do over the decades. Like you said, this is quite the downfall to go from, I mean, we saw the mansions back in March that were raided by the feds. So to go from living in those mansions to being in a jail.
As we continue to watch this story unfold, one thing is clear: the entertainment industry is not as glamorous as it appears on the surface. Beneath the glitz and the glamour, there's a darker side, one where power, control, and secrecy reign supreme. And as more and more people like Joe Rogan and Katt Williams start to speak out, the cracks in Hollywood's facade are beginning to show. It's only a matter of time before the truth comes out. But until then, the rumors will continue to swirl, and the world will be left wondering just how deep the rabbit hole goes. Who else might be caught up in this scandal? And how many more secrets are waiting to be uncovered?
Exactly. You're just like, it's there. I mean, it's not just there. It's everywhere. My news feed is dominated by it. Fox News, CNN, everyone. There's raids at Diddy's house.
Now let's dive even deeper into the tangled web of rumors surrounding Sean Diddy Combs and the chilling allegations of a larger conspiracy hidden behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. This isn't just about a few wild parties. There's a much darker story here that stretches back years, implicating some of the biggest names in entertainment. The more you dig, the more you start to wonder, has Diddy, a man who's built an empire in music and business, been quietly manipulating the lives of those around him? And if so, how many people have been complicit? Diddy's rise to power in the entertainment industry was meteoric. From his early days as a producer to becoming one of the most powerful figures in music, everything seemed golden on the surface. But as the years have passed, the whispers of what was happening behind the scenes have grown louder. And now, with these allegations out in the open, it's becoming harder to ignore the possibility that Diddy was using his influence not just to build a career, but to control others in ways that go far beyond music.
Controlled every aspect of her life. He is accused of frequently beating her and would hide her in hotel rooms for days until the bruising and signs of abuse were gone.
Katt Williams, in particular, hasn't shied away from calling out the darker side of Hollywood, and he's been especially vocal about Diddy. Back in January 2024, Williams appeared on the Club Shay Shay podcast, where he dropped some shocking revelations. According to Williams, he had been offered an eye-watering sum of money, $50 million, to be exact, just to attend one of Diddy's infamous parties. But Williams, known for his bold personality and refusal to conform to Hollywood's norms, said he turned it down. Why? Because in his words, P. Diddy be wanting to party, and you gotta tell him no. Williams alluded to the idea that these parties weren't your typical celebrity get-togethers. They were something else, something darker. Williams even hinted at the consequences of refusing Diddy's invitations. He talked about being harassed, robbed, and even arrested after declining to participate in what he described as a Hollywood system designed to punish those who don't play along. And while it's easy to dismiss these claims as conspiracy theories, Williams' history of calling out the entertainment industry's dark underbelly gives his words a certain weight. He's not just some random person making baseless accusations. He's someone who's been in the thick of it, surrounded by these powerful figures, and has seen firsthand what goes on behind closed doors.
Everybody who tells the stories like, I saw her go upstairs and these dudes are like right on the couch. And then I go in this room and these guys are like,
and pros. Like, apparently he was getting male gigolos to girls.
Girls?
Yeah, that was one of the rumors, like the
Male
freak off. So he would
gigolos.
hire the professional to have with the girls. And I think he would watch, allegedly.
Now let's take a step back and think about what Williams is really saying here. If Diddy was truly using his influence to manipulate people like this, it would explain a lot about why so many celebrities have stayed silent on the matter. After all, Diddy's power wasn't just in his wealth or his connections, it was in the leverage he held over others. And if the rumors about secret tapes are true, that leverage would be enormous.
That this is the end of the Diddy story as we know it.
But here's where things get even more interesting. It's not just Katt Williams who's been vocal about Diddy's alleged behavior. Over the years, other celebrities have hinted at similar experiences, even if they haven't been as direct as Williams. Take Usher, for example. Back when he was just a teenager, Usher was sent to live with Diddy to work on his debut album. Usher himself has talked about the wild scenes he witnessed during that time, which included being exposed to things that, by his own admission, were way beyond what a young artist should have been seeing. Usher once said in an interview that there was always girls around. You'd open a door and see somebody doing it, or several people in a room having an. He didn't go into much more detail than that, but the implication was clear. Diddy's world was one of excess, and it wasn't always pretty.
And I remember, like, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but like, I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside.
And then there's Justin Bieber. Back in the early 2000s, when Bieber was just starting out, he spent a lot of time with Diddy, who acted as a sort of mentor to the young star. But the nature of their relationship has raised eyebrows over the years. In one now infamous video, Diddy can be seen talking about how he had been given custody of Bieber for 48 hours, whatever that means. And while nothing illegal has ever been suggested, the dynamic between the two has always seemed a little strange. In fact, Bieber himself has remained notably quiet about Diddy's recent troubles, despite their previously close relationship.
notes. Not only should he have apologized to Cassie in that video, he should have apologized to all of the general public that he lied to.
Yeah.
Then there's the case of Cassie Ventura, Diddy's former girlfriend who was with him for over a decade. In November 2023, Cassie filed a civil lawsuit against Diddy, accusing him of years of emotional and physical abuse. Her lawsuit contained disturbing allegations, including detailed stories about being coerced into situations she didn't want to be in. The lawsuit was settled quickly, with Diddy maintaining his innocence. But the speed of the settlement raised more than a few eyebrows. It left many wondering, was there more to the story that Diddy was desperate to keep hidden?
This has to be a 100% culture shock. I can't imagine living a lifestyle of the incredibly rich and famous and then going into this very dark, impersonal, cold, austere facility.
And it's not just Cassie. Since her lawsuit, more women have come forward with similar claims, alleging that they were manipulated, coerced, and even filmed without their consent at Diddy's parties. These lawsuits, some of which go back as far as the 1990s, paint a picture of a man who used his power and influence to control those around him. And while Diddy has vehemently denied all the allegations, the sheer number of accusers makes it hard to dismiss the claims outright. Now, let's consider the wider implications of all this. If Diddy has been using secret tapes to keep people in line, then it's not hard to imagine that other powerful figures in Hollywood might be doing the same. In fact, this strategy of using tapes as leverage is eerily reminiscent of the rumors surrounding Jeffrey Epstein, the disgraced financier, whose own collection of compromising footage was allegedly used to blackmail some of the world's most powerful people. Could Diddy have been running a similar operation, using his parties as a way to gather dirt on the biggest names in the industry?
There's people on both sides, right? There's the people on the right that are trying to nail the people that are on the left with this. There's people that are journalists that are trying to nail the people that were involved in this.
This is it, yeah.
And they've managed to keep that list from coming out, which shows you how powerful certain people are. That should show you a lot. That should be terrifying.
That's certainly what some people believe. Joe Rogan, for one, has drawn direct comparisons between Diddy's situation and the Epstein case. During a conversation on his podcast, Rogan speculated that Diddy's troubles might be part of a larger conspiracy involving Hollywood elites. That's what people were saying. Rogan commented. They were like, it wasn't about Diddy. It was about if there were tapes of powerful people there. Rogan's theory is that the recent federal raids on Diddy's properties weren't just about him, they were about uncovering evidence that could implicate other high-profile figures.
The evidence, alleged evidence, that's been gathered in this case was from those 2 raids that were conducted on his personal homes in Miami and Los Angeles. And the indictment names the things seized that he allegedly made videos of these performances that have been named.
And Rogan isn't alone in thinking this. There have long been rumors that Hollywood's most powerful players have been protecting each other for years, using their influence to keep their secrets hidden. Diddy's alleged use of tapes would fit right into that narrative. After all, if you have dirt on the right people, you can pretty much get away with anything. And if those people also have dirt on you, then everyone stays quiet. It's a system of mutual protection, where no one dares speak out for fear of what might be revealed.
There are some problems that the defense has brought up originally, but it seems like, just from reading this 14-page indictment, that there is enough physical evidence to perhaps get a conviction in this case. We shall see.
But as more and more people come forward with their stories, that system is starting to crack. The fact that someone like Katt Williams is willing to speak so openly about his experiences with Diddy suggests that the walls of silence are beginning to crumble. And if more people like Williams start sharing their stories, it could spell the end for Diddy's reign as one of Hollywood's untouchable elites. Of course, Diddy's legal team has been quick to dismiss all of these allegations as nothing more than a money grab. In December 2023, following the initial wave of lawsuits, Diddy posted a statement on his Instagram page, writing, "Enough is enough. For the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation, and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. Let me be absolutely clear, I did not do any of the awful things being alleged."
That clearly there is a criminal investigation underway and that they believe that there would be evidence of crimes in one or both of these homes.
But despite Diddy's denials, the lawsuits keep piling up. As of November 2024, Diddy is facing multiple civil suits, in addition to the federal charges brought against him earlier in the year. And while his legal team continues to fight the claims in court, the damage to his reputation may already be done. After all, in the court of public opinion, perception is everything, and right now, The perception is that Diddy's empire is starting to crumble. So what happens next? Will more celebrities come forward with their own stories of what went on behind the scenes at Diddy's parties? Will someone finally break the silence and expose the full extent of what's been happening in Hollywood's inner circles? Or will the industry close ranks, protecting its own and ensuring that the truth never comes to light?
Now you got the Diddy situation where he jumps on a private jet, they say yesterday, and is on his way to the Cape Verde Islands.
One thing's for sure, this story is far from over. As the legal battles continue and more details emerge, we could be looking at one of the biggest scandals in Hollywood history. And while Diddy has managed to stay on top for decades, the question now is whether he can survive this latest storm or whether the truth will finally catch up with him. Whatever happens, one thing is clear: Hollywood's golden age is starting to tarnish and the cracks are showing. The stories coming out now are just the beginning, and as more people like Katt Williams and Joe Rogan continue to speak out, the full extent of what's been hidden behind the scenes may finally be revealed. The question is, are we ready to see it? We'd love to hear your thoughts, so be sure to leave a comment below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button because you won't want to miss the next chapter in this unfolding drama.